Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Turn that off. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hello. Okay, first person on needs to tell me if you can hear me or not. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so far pretty quiet. It's been a while, so I hope you guys still remember that we do live streams. I hope you could also hear me. Let's see. Maybe the analytics are just slow. Oh, we have a first hi. Hello, hello. So hi, Shako, and hello, Reed from Singapore. So that's the vibe. If you're here, please let me know in the chat so I know that I'm not alone and that we can get started. By the way, I'm again trying to stream both on regular and on live and on shorts. Sorry. They're both live. Everything is live. But we have like a regular feed, so like a regular YouTube video style, and also you might be watching this in a short, like Deep Purple is. And I'm kind of jumping back and forth between the chats just to kind of see if people are writing in and stuff like that. Since I am doing the double stream, it's a bit of a strain on my system here. So if it's lagging really bad, let me know. And maybe we'll give up on the shorts version. And Shako, thank you for your content. It's very helpful and very interesting all the time. Well, thank you for following along and watching. That's great to know. And welcome. So welcome everybody to the live stream. For those of you for whom it's your first time, audio problem. Deep Purple says audio problem. So that's good to know. Does that mean you don't hear me at all, or you don't hear me well? Let me know if you hear me. For the regular stream, do you hear me? For the like Reed and Shako, can you hear what I'm saying? Let's see. Yeah, there's a slight delay, I think, between real life and when you guys see things and when I see your comments. So I'll give you a few seconds to respond to that. Oh, now it's okay. Okay, great. So I'm going to assume that everybody can hear. And I will start explaining. Okay, great. Okay. Cool. If it gets laggy again, let me know so I can just stop and let it catch up. But for now, let's get started. So for those of you who are new to the live streams, really the goal of the live stream is to just kind of gather together and interact in a way that we don't get to through the regular YouTube tutorials. And I'm here to answer your questions. So if you have a question about Wix, about developing on Wix, Velo, anything like that, you can go ahead and put those questions in the chat, whether you are on the regular stream or you're on the short stream. And then I will just be going through questions and addressing them. In the background, I might be kind of doing something if there aren't any like hands-on questions to answer. There are a few things that I wanted to explore today or try and explore today together. And generally, I will give priority to questions from members. So if there is a member question, then I'll jump to that first, and then I'll get back to the other subscriber questions. and otherwise it's first come, first serve. So the questions that I see first, those are the ones that I'm going to answer first. And if the same person asks multiple questions, then I might address the first one and then give other people a chance before circling back to those other questions. So that's a little bit about the way this goes. Usually I just kind of open up with some news and stuff. So like community news versus Wix news. So for those of you who haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet, we have launched a new homepage and general redesign for the Wix Wiz website with a kind of more modern, sleek design, which highlights things that we think you want to see on the homepage versus what we had there before. And you still have the things that I know a lot of you like about the site, which is the forum and the blog. So you can find those up here on the upper left. And if you generally have any questions about tutorials and stuff like that, the forum is a great place to go and post those questions. I usually check it out about once a week and try and answer whatever's going on over there. I'll tell you guys also that we're working on revamping the YouTube page. So currently, it's not even really accessible from the main menu, but I'm working on a cool update and along with the team to this YouTube page. So we have this kind of suggestion system, which is a little out of date and out of touch, but we're going to be doing something cool that will depend more on the actual comments on the videos and AI and something like that. So that's about as much as I can reveal at the moment before it's ready. But just kind of keep your eyes out for stuff about that. So that's the Wix Wiz website. We also so along with this live stream, I know it's been a while since we've done a live stream. It used to be about a month, but I think the last one was about 2 or 3 months ago, New Year's and whatnot. So accompanying this kind of is a weekly blog post / newsletter. So that's this. It's called What the Wix. And basically it goes over some updates about the Wix Wiz community and general Wix updates as well. One of which I want to kind of try and focus on today in the background, which is these dynamic repeaters in blocks, which is a bit related to the question that Chonsei TV asked in the short stream about what do I think about app development in Wix. So I can address that along with that. This is actually quite important. So if you haven't seen this yet, I would recommend checking out this notice about the Wix SDKs. I don't know if it's kind of because I have my ear to the wall in different places than you might, but I don't know if you've heard about anything that has to do with this, but there have been whispers about the SDKs, which are essentially a wrapper for the REST APIs and then becoming more prominent versus the Velo APIs. I've been assured that everything in Velo will continue to work as normal for the very foreseeable future, but it's something that I do want to talk about more on the channel going forward. And you can also get an update about this blog post when it comes out in the newsletter format. So you can go ahead and subscribe to that as well here if you're interested. And if not, then you don't. So that's a little bit about what we're going to be doing today and what's going on with the Wix Wiz. So let me just go ahead and check out the chats to see if we have any interesting... Oh, wow. Okay, so I see a bunch of questions that are coming in. So the first question that I saw was Chonsei. I also see Deep Purple, who's a member, has a comment here. Please make a video on member ambassador program. Sorry, on brand ambassador program. I want to show you an example site. Brand ambassador program. I'm not sure what you mean by brand ambassador program. Are you talking about maybe a referral program that Wix has? So Wix has Wix referral program. So Wix has these referral programs that you can set up for your site. Maybe that's what you're referring to. I'm not sure. So maybe you can clarify that, Deep Purple. And I'll dive right in to Chonsei TV's question. It's from the short stream. And then I'll be talking about, I see Shako has a few questions here as well. So I will jump into those as well. Again, let me know if the stream is kind of breaking up. Oh, the referral program. Okay, that's a good video suggestion. I'll take note of that. And okay, so what do I think about app development on Wix? So what I wanted to try and play around with today, if we have time, is this nested dynamic repeaters, which is part of something called Wix blocks. Wix blocks is one of the, I want to say, 3 ways to develop apps for Wix. Let me see if I can developing apps on Wix. Where's that? Because they have like a, that's not what I want. I want like the dev site. There's a dev site. This one, this is what I'm looking for. So like Wix has this whole section about building apps on Wix. I don't know if you can see this well in the shorts. I don't know. It's very hard to fit this kind of content into a shorts view. Yeah, but essentially there are 3 ways that you can build an app. One is through Wix blocks, which is kind of like, which is this. It's kind of like a native Wix environment for developing apps, which kind of looks a bit like the Studio Editor, if you're familiar with that. The other option would be to use the Wix CLI. I mean, there was a breakdown here somewhere. Maybe it's in the quick start. Oh yeah, here. So these are the 3 options essentially. So you have Wix blocks, you have creating an app with the CLI, and you have creating a self-hosted app. So the app with the CLI and the self-hosted app are more similar to each other than Wix blocks. The CLI just means that it's hosted, like Wix essentially hosts your app on their servers. I do have a tutorial related to this. I know that they've made a lot of changes since then as well. What do I think about app development on Wix is kind of a very big topic because there's there's 3 different ways to build apps on Wix. So maybe if you want to kind of drill down on your question as to what specific aspects of app development you might be referring to, then I could probably address your question better. I personally tend to use Wix blocks when I develop apps for Wix. I think at the moment it has the most capabilities in terms of, at least versus the CLI from what I've experienced, for like widget-based apps. Like if you're building an app that needs to like add a widget to the website and you want like 2-way communication between the app and the website and between the website and the app, then I go with Wix blocks. But yeah, if you want to give more details about your question, then I can try and address that. Let me go ahead and start addressing questions in the regular stream. So first question from Shako. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly or your handle correctly. So I have a question. I'm struggling with my website's performance, loading times. I have compressed fonts, 3 max fonts, compressed images, everything. When I check my page performance on GT metrics, I guess that's a performance metrics gathering site or platform. Some pages still have very bad performance. And if I check waterfall, there are some JavaScript files from Wix that take too long to load. Can we do something about it? The answer is no. Except for complain. I make sure that every time that I interact with Wix, like I have a meeting or something like that, this is the first thing that I mention every time. Wix sites are slow. They need to speed them up. Um, I definitely understand your frustration as somebody whose own site is built on Wix, and as somebody who provides services for people who build their websites on Wix. Some who might, like yourself, struggle to understand what is and what isn't under your control. And you can take some heat from that, and sometimes people leave Wix, so it could be a little frustrating. But at the moment, there is really nothing you can do. I think Wix as a platform also has a lot of merits. I'm not saying that lack of speed means, or slowness means leaving Wix is definitely the right thing to do, but you should be aware that when you're using Wix, you're trading the full suite of capabilities that Wix provides and some ease of use for site speed. Yeah, so that is something that I think, like, you just have to let it go. Like, you have to accept the fact that there is going to be some innate slowness in your website, at least for the foreseeable future. And there isn't anything that you could really do about it. You can check out, there are some apps in the app market that claim to speed up your website. I've explored a few of them. I think that they did work to some extent, but it wasn't, I don't know if it was significant enough to warrant whatever they were asking for in terms of monthly fees and stuff like that. So you can check that out, but otherwise I do not know of any way to overcome that innate slow performance that is in Wix, and I don't think it's possible, to be honest. So that is the answer to that question. And for the time being, I'm going to skip to Reed's question, and then I'll circle back to Chaco if we don't have any other questions. Okay, Reed, do you have a person or persons dedicated to supporting your social media, YouTube video development, etc.? Or is your entire team dedicated to projects for clients? That is an amazing question. Generally, the team is dedicated to clients. For those of you who don't know, the Wix Wiz is an agency. We have very talented developers, designers, QA specialists, project managers, all serving clients on Wix. From time to time, I do hire people related to media. For example, people who help, like, let's say, edit shorts and stuff like that. Or recently, we just and before, I have hired people to help write, like, blog content related to the tutorials, but generally everything, including recording, editing, publishing the videos, creating thumbnails, etc., I do myself at the moment. Yeah, I haven't found the right way to outsource parts of that yet. And I do enjoy it to some extent, so I'm keeping that close. Yeah, so that's to answer that question. And I'm going to go next to, I see a question here from Cinemetaphor. I'm just going to check the live streaming again. Sorry, the shorts. Everything is a live stream. I'm just checking the shorts again because I see here Chonsei TV has another question, so I'll circle back to that. And thanks, Reed. Okay, so Cinemetaphor's question: have you had experience to enhance the speed of the website with the help of ChatGPT? For example, I wrote my spaghetti code, then I asked ChatGPT to rewrite my code to make it condensed and faster. I definitely use ChatGPT a lot. I don't usually use it for improvement, for, like, optimization and performance. Usually what I'll use ChatGPT for is like writing very generic functions that like would take me an hour to write, but ChatGPT can write them, and it's not core functionality of the website. It's like utility functions, I guess I would call it. Like you have an array of objects in this format. I need it transferred to extract a certain property and return something, something like that. Um, so I would often get ChatGPT to write, or if there's a bug that I can't spot, sometimes I'll let ChatGPT review it. Um, Sometimes for refactoring, but sometimes I feel like often ChatGPT or other AI in general will take a lot of liberty when refactoring in certain areas where I don't necessarily want them to take liberty. Um, so I'm a little more cautious about like putting like a whole bulk of code into to refactoring. But since you brought up AI, I will take the chance to share a certain tool, which is also which I mentioned in the blog post as well. If you take a look here on the website and you go all the way down to the bottom, you can find here this free Velo code audit. I don't know if you can see it here, but I think let me try and fix one second. I think this, see if that helps a little bit. Oh, it's a little better. No, it's still not great. No, it's a little off. Let me try and. Sorry, sorry. It's like technical pause. Okay. So, yes, this free Velo code audit. I feel like both streams just like completely slow down now. Let me go into that for a second so you can see what it looks like. Sorry, I'm having a moment here with the internet and whatnot. Okay, there we go. Basically, this is what I created. That is, it utilizes AI, of course, and basically you can upload a file. Let me like quickly, I can do a test here, and you just choose a file. That is, I don't want to show you my files. Second, I'll do this. Yeah, you can just paste code over here. You can either choose that as a file, which might be a little more complicated for some people to do. You can also just grab, let's see, I have just a bunch of Velo code here that I can copy paste. From somewhere. I would really, well, anyways, it basically, it does something like this. I don't want to waste all my time just doing a demo, but it identifies best practice issues, security vulnerabilities, Velo best practice bugs inside the code that you provided, and tells you where it is and you know what the problem is. So it's like a slightly more what's the word I'm looking for? It keeps you in the driver's seat of your code. So instead of like letting ChatGPT completely rewrite code or stuff like that, so that it kind of just points out what the issues are and kind of lets you decide what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with. Um, so yeah, I apologize for the audio breaking up. I think like because I moved some stuff in the short stream, so that like completely slowed down my system. Um, but yeah, so this tool, yeah, so this is something I built myself, kind of like as a side project, just for fun. It's not built on Wix. It's actually just regular HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which is my favorite, by the way, and uses OpenAI to just analyze the code and give back the results in a certain way. So that's this. If you want to take a look at it, I'd love to get your feedback. Like this option to paste the code in. This is actually from some feedback that I got on Facebook from somebody who so yeah, please, you're welcome to check it out and have fun. So that's that. And let me see here. Okay, so Checo has a few more questions. And sorry about static. I think I have even more static. Yeah, I appreciate everybody's patience. Okay, so Chansei TV has another question. Can your Wix app be available on the App Store and Google Play? Okay, so I completely misunderstood your first question. Chansei TV, for those of you who are not on the Shorts chat, basically the question was, what do I think about app development? Okay, so my mind directly went to like building apps for the Wix app market for Wix websites, but I think Chansei actually meant um, the branded app, which I think has a different name now. Recently changed the name of the branded app. Let me show you. I forgot what they changed it to. It's hard to keep track of all the name changes. Also, when they changed the SDI to the service plugins, that threw me off. Yeah, so what I think about the apps. Okay, so can your Wix app be available on the App Store and Google Play, or does it have to stay within Wix Spaces? So Wix does have the option to develop an app that will be in the App Store and Google Play. So that's what's called, or what used to be called, the branded app, and now is called. One second. Oh, that's that. Yeah, they also change the dashboard menu every 5 minutes, so it takes me some time to find where things are. Yeah, usually it would be under. Oh, site and mobile app. There it is. So here you have mobile app. Just for those of you who are, yeah. So it's over here, site and mobile app. You have two options. You have your own mobile app, and you have Spaces by Wix. So Spaces by Wix is not a branded app, and that one is free if I'm not mistaken. Your own mobile app is essentially an app that would be in the Apple Store and Google Play and whatnot. It would be under your own brand or no association with Wix, essentially. And Wix facilitates that publishing to the if your website is Wix using business solutions out of the box, then this could be a good option like Velo and stuff like that. Then there are some options, and they're introducing more and more options for that. There is some widgets that you can work on, and there is the option to like embed a page from your website into the app, so that you can develop custom functionality for that, like on a web page and have that featured in your app. It's not ideal. It's not is also an option. So depending on the level of customization that you need, it may or may not be a great option for you. I see Deep Purple here. Follow up. A brand ambassador promotes a brand while it rewards existing customers for recommending the brand to new customers. Both aim to increase visibility and sales but use different approaches. Existing customers for recommending the brand to new customers. www.lowvisa.com. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check out lowvisa.com. And scroll to the bottom. Oh, become an ambassador. Let's see. Your own unique discount code and referral link. Start sharing with your community. For every order placed, you'll receive 10 commit. To me, it seems like they're just using the term brand ambassador as like a. I think it's this, right? Is this what you're referring to, Deep Purple? If this is what you're talking about, then to me it just seems like this is another word that they're using for a referral program. I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm not trying to like disagree with your original distinction between the two, but I think in this specific case, this just seems like a referral program to me, and they're calling it a brand ambassador. Yeah, like essentially, you would get like a unique link, and you share that. Um, yeah, you get a unique discount code and referral link. You share that for commission. It sounds like a referral program to me. And I would definitely look more into the Wix referral program, which I feel is it new? I don't know. I feel like I haven't heard so much about it until recently, but I will take a look at it and see because I think there also is an API for it. But I'm curious also, Deep Purple, if you want to share a little bit more about what you want to learn about the referral program, like what you haven't managed to figure out from like the standard explanation and documentation and like just exploring the app. I would be curious like what the pain points are when it comes to the referral program, or what you feel it doesn't meet in terms of your expectations for an ambassador program or something like that. So let me know about that. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Animals, for the heads up about the video. It really depends. Like I think like if I do something that like really stresses my system, like maybe yeah, I don't know. There are certain things that just make it go slow, but hopefully it'll continue being smooth. Usually it works out within like half a few seconds or okay. Let me see here. I know that Chaco has a bunch of questions that you asked. I do want to circle back to them, but we do have some questions coming in from new people that haven't asked yet. So I'm just trying to follow the policy of first come first serve plus first question first serve. So I'm just gonna go here. So also I'm skipping read for a second here. Priyanshu Beer. Can we use a custom collection for Wix stores instead of the Wix stores collection? That is a great question. So you can use custom collections in Wix. I do have a tutorial about using custom collections. For those of you who don't know what custom collections are, or actually it should be called custom catalog. Custom catalog. So this has to do with something we've talked about a bunch on the channel in terms of, custom catalog. We've talked about this a bunch. This is the tutorial, by the way. Create a custom, that's not what we want. The custom catalog SPI. Oh, here, ecom catalog. So basically, this is something we've touched a bunch on the channel about like the whole new Wix ecom and what the relationship is between Wix stores and Wix ecom. But basically, Wix stores is essentially a catalog app. It's a way for you to organize your products, and it's integrated with the rest of the Wix ecom system, which involves like the cart and the checkout and stuff like that. Wix Stores app, for those of you who don't know, is an app from the app market. I'm going to do something dangerous now, which I think is going to slow down the whole live stream. Let's see, Wix Stores. Yeah, so it's like once you install Wix Stores, it also, oh, I have it installed already on the site. Okay, so yeah, so essentially it includes a catalog, which you edit from your dashboard, and also cart and checkout and stuff like that. So custom catalog essentially allows you to decouple that relationship and introduce your own catalog instead of Wix stores, and then continue the flow with the regular Wix cart and Wix checkout. So and this custom catalog could be based on a collection or whatnot, and you add in this SPI or service plugin, which dictates the logic of how to handle when items are added to cart and to check if they belong to the catalog, and then how to retrieve the items and stuff like that. So in order to use a custom catalog, you're also going to need to develop a custom product page and add the items to cart using the add to cart API. Again, all this is explained in the tutorial, so you can really just go watch it. Yeah, so that's about catalogs. Let me even see if I can use a custom collection for Wix stores instead of Wix stores collection. So yes, but it would be more of instead of Wix stores in general and not really for Wix stores, if that answers your question. If you have follow-ups, let me know. Annabels had a question. Question about a feature. Do you have a video coming up about how to automate ending a user's listing when their pricing plans ends? Ending a user's listing when their pricing plans ends. I don't have a planned video about that. I do know. Oh my! You can see like these weird, like my hand is like see-through. I do. Yeah, it's nighttime here now, so like the lighting in my room is not great. So like it makes parts of my face see-through. Anyway, somebody else asked about that, I think, either on the forum or in a comment on one of the videos. I don't know if it was you, but I don't have a planned video about that. I can give like a brief insight into how that would possibly be done. So just to explain Annabelle's question and to like read it back to make sure I understand, essentially you have a collection, a CMS collection with, let's say, listings. Oh, okay, it was you on the forum. Okay. So I think I answered this on the forum as well. Let me go to the forum actually, because it would be good to have the reference there. Let me try and find it. It's also good. It's a good promo for the forum. I think it was probably under Velo. Let me see if I could find it. I'm not sure what name you asked it under. Oh, here, end listings. Okay. So this is the forum post, and I think I did answer. Yeah. Um, yeah. So essentially, the scenario that we have, I'll send this in the chat just if people want to open the forum on their end. But basically, so you have a collection, and it has some kind of items in it that are associated with a specific member, and you that member can only have an item in that collection if they have an active pricing plan, if they're paying for a certain membership. Like let's say it's a real estate listing site, and you can list some of your real estate if you pay for a membership. So the way that this would be done is probably by using the events.js. So where's my Wix Studio? So here inside of the backend, if you go to public and backend, backend and public, then you have the option to add a file, which it says over here, handle backend events. And it helps you tap into different events from Wix, Wix business apps, which would include pricing plans. So then what you'd want to do is you'd want to go over here to the docs, and you'd want to find pricing plans. We want Velo, so let's just make sure we just want Velo. I'll just go to any one of these. So here we have, so this is Wix Pricing Plans V2, Pricing Plans Backend, and then here we have events. So let's say it would probably be under on order updated or on order canceled or on order ended. Sometimes it gets hard to know exactly when these are going to run. When an order expires or is canceled immediately. I don't think that's... Yeah, I think the safest is on updated because it's probably the most versatile. And it runs in all these scenarios. So like an order is paid, an order reaches the start date, an order expired reaching its end date, etc., etc. Yeah, so basically you would take one of these events, so like this from here, and you'd put this inside of this events.js file. And essentially what this means is that whenever this runs, so you can do something. So like first thing you'd want to do is check and see on order updated what actually happened in the event, because like it could be that it just updated and the person still has a valid plan. So you'd want to go here into entity, and yeah, you'd see here cancellation reason. So this would be if the plan is canceled, payment status. Yeah, like you'd look for some, oh here, status. Maybe look for either canceled or expired. So if it's canceled or expired, right? So you'd have here, you'd have here const status equals to event.entity.status. And then, you'd say, okay, I'm going to write some pseudocode like if status equals to expired or the other thing canceled, then we're going to do something here. And this thing that you're going to want to do over here will be essentially to get rid of the listing that belongs to that specific member. So in order to do that, you're going to want to make sure, for example, that you have the member ID. So here you have the member ID. So we'd say here, let's say const member ID equals to this as well. So here you'll have member ID. And then here you're going to go and do a Wix data query. So like import Wix data. And then here you're going to do like run data query. Query with like dot equals, and then you're going to have the member ID. Okay, I'm really like just doing it in pseudocode here. And then you can go ahead and do like remove. So there's going to be like dot remove. Yeah, or you can like change a specific field to let you know that it's been disabled or something along those lines. But that's like the general approach. Um, yeah, I don't have a video specifically on this planned because it is a bit specific. Like I appreciate getting video suggestions. I never turn them away, but I need to like try and make videos that will apply to like a wide range of scenarios, and that I believe will be of assistance to many people. So whenever I get like a very specific or a more question that's very specific to a project, I would recommend posting to the forum, or you're also welcome to schedule a consultation. If it's a hobby project, I can understand if that's not something that you want to spend money on right now. But I am kind of limited in terms of how specific I can get with like making a tutorial. Like the chances that I'll make a tutorial about somebody's specific project are very low. So that's, yeah. I hope that this kind of gave some direction. If you have any follow-up questions, please let me know. Um, so oh, you already asked the follow-up question, so I'll answer it quickly. So Annabelle said, thanks, I understand. I'm not a coder, but I'll try my best. I've built many features thanks to your tutorials. That's great. On which page should I add that code, though? So this, again, the page that I added on is events.js. It's a special backend code file that you add through. It's one of these 4 files here. It's called handle backend events. Otherwise, you can also look it up on Google. Or, I mean, I have tutorials where I think I do address the events.js. I think I have some tutorials about that. I don't have a specific one that comes to mind right now, but I'm pretty sure I've touched on that topic before. And it is definitely part of the advanced course, which is slowly coming out for members on the channel. So that would be a place to find it over the next coming weeks. Awesome. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, Deep Purple said, thank you for your responsible mail in detail. That works. Awesome. And let me see here for a second. So I'm going to start circling back because I think we don't have any questions from new attendees. So I'm going to circle back to Shako's second question. Okay, so Shako said, if I can ask second question, that will be, can we add custom buttons to a Wix product page with custom functionality with Velo? Not like on the page, but the Wix stores element inside. So let me try and address that question. So if we go here to the product page, go to the product page. Awesome. So what can you do and what can't you do? So you cannot really change the layout of this page without, like, you can't just go ahead and start dragging things around. You can't like go ahead and put a button that would be like in between this and this or something like that. you can build a plugin that would do that. So like if you go over here, there's the option to add in plugins, and you can build your own plugins. I've built a plugin before. Let me see if I could find the plugin that I built. Hello World plugin. This is one plugin that I built. It's not public, so only I can see this plugin. But essentially, it just allows me to add the words "Hello World" to my product page. Let me see. That was when I was first. I think I showed this in a tutorial actually. I think it's part of the plugins tutorial that I have. But yeah, let's see. Where did it? Oh, this is so it doesn't. Sorry, it doesn't say "Hello World" anymore. It's because this was a precursor to the coupon plugin, which is public actually. Where is that? Doesn't get a lot of attention, but oh, here, this one, coupon widget. So this is actually public. This you can find also on your site actually, and check it out. So that would be one way to kind of like insert yourself into the product page kind of design. Again, it's quite limited in terms of Velo functionality, so the interactions between this widget and the rest of the page are quite limited. So that doesn't really help so much, to be honest. I just wanted to talk about my plugin. Yeah, you could add elements to somewhere else on the page. And specifically in terms of Velo interactions, so Wix Studio actually, this is one of the rare cases where there is like a fundamental difference between Wix Studio and Wix Classic. So within Wix Studio, if we go here and we look for product page, product page, is it this? Get product. Where is that documentation? Okay, I'll find it myself. Let's see, product page, product page. Okay, so in Wix Classic, pretty much all you can do is get product. Okay, so you can get the data about a specific product from the product page by doing, you select the element essentially. So like this. So this is called product page 1 at the moment. So what I could do here is I could do product page 1 dot get products. Okay, this is again, I'm currently in Wix Studio, but I'm showing you what's possible inside of Wix Classic. This is the extent of what's possible in Wix Classic. So it would be like const product equals 2. And then here we could do, let's say, console.log product. And then, yeah, if we went here into preview mode, which I don't like so much, but I think it'll just be quicker, then we should get the data about the product. So that's what you can do in Wix Classic. Oh, it's a promise. Sorry, it's a promise. So I didn't think it was a promise, but let's... yeah, but inside of Wix Studio, so you have all these other options like get quantity, get selected choices, on choice selected, on quantity changed. Yeah, like set quantity. You have a bunch of different events and properties that you can tap into in the native product page, which make it a little easier to interact with Velo. but it's mostly on the functionality side. It's not. So this is what you get from the product. So you can get all the product data. But it wouldn't really help you alter the design in a way. Like this is pretty much black box, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the design. I mean, maybe you could like, no, you can't even like change this. Yeah. Sorry. So that's that. I hope that answered your question. That was Shako's second question. And let's see. Now I'm just Wix files load slowly. That's the comment. So we're up to read again. Thanks for that. We'll definitely look at the analysis tool for Velo. Looks very interesting, though I'm not sure how much of my code would fit in the two. Yeah, it's a good point, but you can run it a few times. I just had to cut it off somewhere so that people wouldn't abuse it, as I am paying for the AI APIs. Not that they're that pricey, but you got to control things a little bit. And Sin Metaphor had another question. I have seen you using charts.js and Wix, but some problems still exist. Will there be a more in-depth tutorial soon? I don't have a tutorial currently scheduled. I'm not sure what problems you're referring to. I don't know if it's something that I mentioned as a problem in the tutorial or there's something that you're struggling with personally. I mean, since a lot of you are asking if if I have a tutorial planned for this and that, I can. There's nothing too secretive here. So since you came to the live stream and you watched this far, this is like the content that I'm planning forward till mid-year approximately. So next week we have the clear button coming up. Then the week after we have upload CSV to CMS, which I think is cool. You guys should like that. I want to do a video about the updated add to cart because that's changed a little bit since the Wix stores custom product page series that I published a while back. And yeah, you can kind of just see what else is coming up here. Yeah, maybe it would be interesting to give more visibility into this to the community, just like what's planned. I did used to do that more in the past, but that's yeah, maybe I should be more transparent about that. Let's see if we have anything in the short stream. No. Okay, so I think we went through all the questions, which means that if you have any more questions, you can add them in the chat. And what I want to do now is play around with what I wanted to play with to begin with. No, I'm glad that you had a lot of questions and I could try and answer them. But basically, I wanted to take a look at this, nesting dynamic repeaters, because this is a new feature. This is like something that, I mean, it's one of like the main, I feel like the core Wix challenges, the core missing features of Wix beyond the site speed. And that's the fact that you cannot put repeaters in repeaters. That's one thing that like is very like missing. And this is specifically for blocks. So this isn't currently available in the general Wix yet. But it's available in blocks, which I think might be like a precursor to actually becoming available to like inside of the editors as well. Let's see what it says here. There's several ways to nest a dynamic repeater inside another dynamic repeater. We recommend using nested widgets and drilling their properties. This article uses a menu app as an example. Here's the app structure. Several menu sections, there's appetizers, 2 collections in the map, menu sections, restaurant dishes. This is the general structure. So this is like repeater and repeater. For, maybe I thought it was obvious, but it might not be. Essentially, like you have one repeater on the outside. So in this case, it's like a repeater of menu sections, where each menu section also has a repeater inside with like dish title, dish title, dish title. So like it's a repeater inside of a repeater. Okay, so option 1 recommended 2 nested widgets and prop drilling. This option uses nested widgets. The app has 3 widgets. Top level widget, representing the entire menu. Second widget, section widget represents the section. Dish widget represents each individual dish and is nested inside the section widget. Top level widget is the menu widget. I'm just curious what they have here. We're option 2. 1 nested widget. Simplified is good. Code only solution with 1 widget. Top level is repeater sections. It's connected to the menu section collection. The nested repeater is dishes. It connects to the restaurant dishes collection. This is actually the option that interests me the most because it's like purely nested repeater. Let's take a look and see what it feels like. I'm super curious. So this is Wix blocks. And let's see. So dynamic repeater. So this is the element that I'm talking about. And let's go ahead and drag it in. This is the first time. Like I did not take a look at this before the live stream, I assure you. Okay, so we have 1 repeater. Awesome. And now I guess we just add another repeater inside of it. Let's see. Whoa. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. This is another repeater. Okay, so like let me try, and you see that this repeater also repeats because it's an outer repeater and then the repeater in the repeater. This is it. This is like I'm sure like I don't see any reason that this won't come to the editor as well. Like I don't think there's anything unique about blocks that facilitates this versus yeah, let me I'm just going to change the design of this so you can really see what's I feel like it might not be so clear visually. So let me go ahead and change some of the design here. So the background, like I'll make this background green and I'll make the outer repeater. I'll make the background, yeah. So here you could really see now the repeater in the repeater. Let me peek at Wix. Is it already in Studio? No, right? No, we just have the regular repeater here. But I mean, I would say it's imminent. Like if we have it in blocks, I don't see why it wouldn't be. But let's see. Okay, so let's get a you know ahead of the curve. um, let's get ahead of the curve and understand these nested repeaters so that when they actually come to the editor, I mean, you could always build a block, but I assume that most people don't want to build blocks for things that don't need blocks. So let's get ahead of the curve and understand how these work so that when they come to the editor, we will be the only people who know how to use them. So let's see. So obviously, like we want to connect to data here. Okay, so you can only connect to a collection. Connect a collection to this repeater with code. Okay, so so you have to be a developer to use this. Interesting. So this inner one can only be connected with code. Let me see what they do here in the example. I'm going to close this. We don't need that. dishes.data. Ah, okay. So dishes is the inner repeater. So they assign the data for the inner repeater using the um, on item ready for the outer repeater. Not recommended. Data binding for the outer repeater, one which, yeah, I can understand why. You don't want to mix the data binding with the, wait, with this one, can you do data bind? No, with all of them, you seem to need some level of code. Um, let's see if they talk about the relationship between these two collections. Do they have it? Oh yeah, so they're using multi-reference here. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this ourselves. Meanwhile, if you have more questions, you can, yeah. Meanwhile, you can ask more questions or get excited like me about this. I'll just do exactly what they have in the example. So I'm going to create a collection here, and we're going to have menus. Oh no, app and name. So this is nested repeaters test. Create a collection, namespace. Excellent. And create with AI, save some time. So let's say menus, and let's just say meal time. Let's just do meal and time. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's create collection. Okay, awesome. Oh, okay. So you know what I'll do? I'll do menus and I'll do ingredients. So let's do a collection of ingredients. Start from create with AI. Ingredients. I hope that's how you spell ingredients. Um, title. And let's say calories. I don't know. Let's do that next. Okay, awesome. I'm so embarrassed because I don't think that's how you spell ingredients. Okay. I was close. I was so close. Okay, so and then we'll do a reference from our menus to our ingredients. So we'll add a reference here, multi-reference. We'll call this ingredients. I think I got it right this time. I hope. And it's going to be this ingredients collection. And then we can just go ahead and like select different ingredients, which are not actually going to be ingredients that, let's see, spaghetti carbonara. Okay, probably tomato and salmon. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Just associate different ingredients with different menus. And awesome. Okay, good. So that's basically what we need. I'm just going to make the what's the permissions? Show content everyone. Okay, awesome. So that's what we want. So now the outer one is going to be, the outer one is going to be our menus. This will be, select the repeater. So this is going to be our menus repeater. Menus. Menus repeater. I hope that's how you spell menus. Let me see. No, no E. No E. Yeah, that's why I'm not a proofreader. I'm not a proofreader. That's not my job. This is the menus repeater. And the inner repeaters are going to be the ingredients repeaters. So let me select that. Ingredients repeater. And let's add some text. So here we'll have this is going to be our what did I call it? Databases meal. This is going to be our meal. So this is going to be meal. And then this is going to be, as you can tell, design is not a big part of what I'm doing here. I didn't add that text. Go, get in there. Okay, and this is going to be the ingredient. So we'll just do title. To try and match them up a little bit. And awesome. Fix the design a little bit at least. Let's see. This will be, let's say, min content. Oh, so this is a fixed, why does it have a fixed height? Row min height. Let's do it on a 20. Okay, that's already much better. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Lovely. And you can really see the like the repeater and the repeater much better now. And now we just need to set up the code, which should not be all that hard. So we'll import Wix data. And then we'll do, we'll set up the on ready. So menus repeater dot on item ready. And then we'll have here item, and we'll have item data. And what we'll do here is we'll say item menu, item meal dot text equals to item data dot meal. And here's the fun part. This is the money maker here, item, and we're selecting the other repeater. So it's going to be ingredients repeater dot data equals to item data dot, and here we need the reference field, which is going to be ingredients. Ingredients, which should be an array. I'm pretty sure it should be an array already. And then here we need to set up the on ready for the ingredients repeater dot on item ready. And item data. And then we're just going to say here that the, make sure to use item instead of $W. I always get confused about that, at least when I'm initially writing it out. And then here we're going to have title dot text equals to item data dot title. And that should be it. I mean, now we just need a query, const query result equals to, let's make this asynchronous, equals to await Wix data dot query. and then we're going to query the, we're going to get the menus collection. Let me just make sure I get the right. So the collection ID. So this is this is what we're querying, and we're going to say dot include the ingredients. Okay, this is important because it's a multi-reference field, we need to specify that we want it included, and then we're going to do dot find, and then we can just say that the menus repeater dot data equals to query result dot items, and that should, I think, do the trick. It's going to be a little preview mode in apps. Let's see. Ta-da! There we go. So we have an outer repeater with all of our menus, and we have an inner repeater with the ingredients. Awesome. I mean, there's absolutely no reason that this should not be available in the editor. Like, zilch. There's nothing that I did here that is unique to blocks. Yeah, like, wow. And it was like, I don't know what took them this long. Should be happy that they did it, but like, I do not know why this was so complicated to do that. Yeah, like it's so straight. Like, from a developer perspective, it's so straightforward. From a necessity perspective, it's like so obvious. I don't know, but it's here. Okay, it's here, and it's probably going to be available super soon. Like, you could probably, I could probably develop a block app actually that would just serve as like a wrap. I don't know, but it would be hard to do the like all the design aspects and stuff. That's really what's missing here. I'll think about it. Maybe I could develop a block that would make this like more accessible for people. But otherwise, I think this is super cool. If you do too, then you can do like the heart thing or the smiley face in the chat. Okay, so let's just do some questions here. So Kailash has said, hey, hello there. I've already used those nested repeaters. They're very helpful. Now I only want to add them directly into the studio editor. Thank you. I'm 100% on board with you, and I think something tells me that they are right around the corner, and you will definitely see a video tutorial, like a tutorial on the channel as soon as those come out, because that is something that I have to say, like, at the moment I had to rank like all of the like most highly requested needed features in Wix. It's like way up there, maybe number one, maybe top three. So yeah, as soon as that comes out on Studio or Classic, there will be a tutorial on the channel. You can be sure about that. Let's see. Animals had another question. Question about a different feature. This one's quite high in demand. I want the ratings display to show Wix comments instead of Wix reviews. This is detail on the forum. Want the ratings display to show Wix comments instead of Wix reviews. So yeah, I tried to address this on the forum as well. I'm not sure. Did you respond here? Let me see. Terms to achieve this connection. Yeah, so I did also give like a code snippet here for how to achieve this, but this ratings display element, it's just a regular input element in Wix, or like a display element in Wix. So basically, all you need to do is give it a number value, which represents how many stars to display essentially, and that's what you can see over here. So you select the element and you say dot rating equals to a number. It's going to be a number from 0 to 5. So that's in terms of this rating display here. Now the real, like the challenge of this is going to be to get those ratings from the Wix comments to display inside of the rating display. I'm not sure if I understood exactly how you're trying to set this up. Yeah, I mean, if you want to share a little bit more about what you're specifically trying to do here, maybe I can give a little more guidance. But this is what I understood from your original inquiry. So that's what we have over here. If we can, I feel compelled to revisit my client site and implement a workaround for this, Reed says. Depropo, oops, you have a video, create affiliate links for Wix location. Oh yeah, I knew I had that video. I just thought you were talking about like the new referral program, so that's why I talked about that. But if that video helps you, then awesome. That's responding to Deep Purple. Wix comments instead of Wix reviews. Yeah, I feel like it would be helpful, Annabels, if I had a little more background as to, like, I understand you're trying to allow people to give reviews on something that's not in the store. Maybe it's related to that other listings, the item removal question you had as well. I don't have a full picture of what the system that you're trying to develop is and how you're trying to integrate Wix comments with that. I'm guessing it's probably on dynamic pages, but I'm not sure. But Wix comments does have an API, so technically you could probably do a bunch of things programmatically with it. Yeah, but I feel like my hands are a little tied without more information. So that's about that. And let's see. Okay. So I don't see any more questions. And I talked about what I wanted to talk about, which is the nested repeaters. That's what I was excited about. So it's been almost an hour and a half. I'll give like another minute or two if anybody wants to ask like a final question. And if I don't see any new questions, then we are going to wrap up. Yeah. Meanwhile, while we wrap up, I'll talk for half a minute about the SDKs. So let me go to here, API and SDK. So these are lots of different ways that you can interact with Wix programmatically. GraphQL Alpha, I've never even played around with that. Client. I haven't really touched much either, but essentially there are the REST APIs, which used to be the only way that you could access Wix from outside of Wix. HTTP functions and everything aside, but like if you wanted to just using, as it says here, HTTP-based access to Wix from outside Wix. So essentially, when you're inside of Wix, you use Velo APIs. When you're outside of Wix, you'd use REST. And this is mostly to develop apps that would interact with Wix websites. As Wix was trying to like promote more app development and building things like the CLI and whatnot, and Wix headless, so Wix developed the Wix SDK. And the Wix SDK is essentially the it's like a wrap, like any SDK is. It's like a wrapper for the HTTP, to kind of simplify it and allow you to do things with a package rather than needing to make requests using like an endpoint and fetch and whatnot. So the SDKs are JavaScript. So if you're not writing JavaScript, then you'd have to use the REST API. But since JavaScript is quite popular, it's a viable solution for most people, like especially if you're building in React or something like that. And the idea is that theoretically, the things that you can do through the SDK are like the same things that you could do through Velo, theoretically, or at least in the future, maybe that will be the case. So instead of having both Velo and SDK, theoretically, you could just have the SDK, and even when you're building on site, you would just use the SDK. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of lining those two things up and their capabilities. But that's the concept in theory. And the advantage would be that the SDK has better like version control than Velo. And the way it would work essentially, let me see if I can. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, people have told me that they've done this before, but essentially it would look like manage authentication and communication. Both the universal SDK package and the package for the domain you wish to, for example, work with context, you need both Wix SDK and Wix context. So essentially, yeah, I've worked with the SDK only very briefly, but let's take a look at, let's say, Wix data, which they recently updated. And let's say you're trying to do a query. So you'd need to import the Wix data npm package. So you'd go to your site, and I'm like I have not rehearsed this, so I'm kind of experiencing it together with you. But you'd go to packages and apps, go to npm, and you'd look for @wix/data, and you'd go ahead and install that. And this is the concept of the version control. So you can technically like decide if you want to update the package or not. And then here, what you would do, let me go to the home page. And then here, what you would do is essentially, so instead of doing like import Wix data from Wix data, you would do import items from @wix/data. And then instead of doing const query result equals to await Wix data, let's make this async, dot query, and then let's just use an example collection, custom services. Okay. That's the only collection I have on this example site. So let's go to databases, custom services, query. I need to turn the air conditioning back on. Dot find. So we'll do console.log query results. So instead of doing this, this is the traditional way. Trad way. Tradway. For those of you who know the reference, you know the reference. And new way would be const query equals to items.query and then the collection. So const query equals to await items dot query. And then here we would have the collection, which would be the same. And then I think you still need to run find both ways. And then we do console.log query query. Then if we publish this and we go to the live site and we go and inspect here, and yeah, so then here both of these return the query. And the results look different. So again, these are my concerns because, like, first of all, I mean, the syntax is a little different. Okay, so you have Wix data.query and here you have items.query. It's not hugely different, but it's enough to confuse people, I think. And then you see that the response here is different. So if you go, like, if I built my logic based on the expectation that I would get certain things back here from this query, then it might not exist in the new package, and then I might be in a problem. So these are, like, again, this is all very speculative at the moment. But this is something to look out for, and this might be the future. So, yeah. I'm very curious, like, yeah, like how the things like permissions and like, yeah, like when I pass this, how does it even know that it's in my site and stuff like that? I mean, that has to do with stuff in the package and stuff like that, but I wish I had more insight into how those things work behind the scenes. But it does seem to work. So that's good news. Anyways, yeah, so Annabels, thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, let me think about it. I mean, that might be something that could be more relevant for a general tutorial in terms of using Wix comments as sort of Wix reviews or reviews for things that are not in Wix stores. I'll take note of that and think about that. I mean, it won't be in the near future, as you saw. There's a plan going forward, but maybe in a few months or something like that, it could possibly be a tutorial. I appreciate the suggestion, and I don't see any more questions in either of the chats, so I think we're going to wrap up. It was good to see everyone. There are quite a few regulars who popped in, so it's great to chat with you guys and to share some insights into what's coming up on Wix. And hopefully we'll keep this up. So if not next month, maybe in 2 months, we'll have another live stream. And yeah, you know how to reach me if you need anything in between. So thanks again. Have a great rest of your evenings and days and mornings or whatever you're up to. And I'll see you next time.